Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating biological connection. You know, we usually think of our DNA as this super secure, locked vault, completely untouched by the daily wear and tear of our organs. But what if I told you that the health of your liver directly dictates your fundamental genetic blueprint? Seriously, can a damaged liver actually rewrite your cellular DNA? I know, it sounds a bit like science fiction, but it's a proven physiological reality. We really need to completely shatter this illusion that our organs just act in isolation from our chromosomes. Because as we're going to see, what happens in your liver echoes right into the very core of your cells. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. First, we'll cover how liver health corrupts DNA. Then we'll look at acute dysfunction, specifically the oxidative attack, and its immediate result, breakages and aneuploidy. After that, we'll switch gears to chronic inflammation, the slow burn, its resulting instability and polyploidy. And finally, we'll wrap up with the overall genetic toll. Let's get right into section 1, liver health corrupts DNA under siege. So here we have a really great high-level visual roadmap showing two incredibly different biological pathways. Over on the left side, we've got acute liver dysfunction, which is basically rapid, chaotic, oxidative damage. And then on the right, there's chronic liver inflammation, which drives this really slow, insidious alteration of our genetic material over time. Two totally different routes, right? But both lead to profound chromosomal mutations. Moving on to section 2, acute dysfunction, oxidative attack. Right, so when hepatocytes, which are the primary cells of the liver, are subjected to chronic alcohol exposure, they get highly stressed out. And as a direct physiological response to that stress, these cells begin churning out dangerous levels of what we call ROS. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is ROS? Well, it stands for reactive oxygen species. The best way to think of these is like biological rust. They're highly reactive, incredibly unstable molecules that literally bounce around the inside of the cell, causing severe oxidative stress and inflicting real physical damage to delicate structures, especially your DNA. Let's see how this actually builds up. It's a very precise and very destructive biological cascade. Step 1, chronic alcohol exposure, triggers step 2, that massive spike in ROS production we just talked about. And this oxidative attack slams directly into the genetic material, causing step 3, which is the formation of DNA adducts. Basically, this means toxic chemical groups are literally binding and latching right onto the DNA strands themselves. Which brings us to section 3, breakages and aneuploidy, cellular fallout. Now, what's really wild about this is the literal physical trauma inflicted on the chromosomes. We're looking at acquired chromosome breakage, specifically chromatid breaks and chromosome gaps. The ROS attack has quite literally fractured the genetic architecture. And the real tragedy here? It's a devastating double-edged sword. Normally, our bodies have healthy repair pathways to fix minor damage. But under acute liver dysfunction, our cellular maintenance crews, specifically the DNA repair enzymes for pathways like BDR and NER, are significantly decreased. So you've got this aggressive attack happening at the exact moment the very enzymes needed to fix it are just thrown offline. The result? A massive accumulation of unrepaired breaks. And that leads to the chaotic endpoint of the acute pathway. All those unrepaired breaks ultimately cause severe chromosomal losses during cell division, resulting in aneuploidy. Notice monosomy 21 here. That is the literal deletion and loss of an entire chromosome. It's a complete structural failure, and it originates directly from liver distress. All right, let's look at the other side of the coin. Section 4, chronic inflammation, the slow burn. This chronic path starts with Kupffer cells, which are the specialized immune cells residing in your liver. In a state of chronic inflammation, these cells essentially get stuck in the on position. They just continuously bathe the liver in pro-inflammatory cytokines, specifically TNF-alpha and IL-6. Now, this constant chemical bath forces a really flawed biological response. The cytokines trigger compensatory hepatocyte proliferation. Basically, the liver cells start dividing rapidly, desperately trying to heal and catch up. But this rushed, continuous division comes at a steep cost. It leads directly to severe telomere shortening, resulting in a drop in the T to S ratio and an increase in sister chromatid exchanges, which are highly visible markers of genetic strain. And this brilliantly illustrates another profound hidden mechanism. This chronic slow burn doesn't just shorten telomeres, it fundamentally dysregulates DNA methyltransferase, or DMMT. Think of this enzyme like a complex set of light switches for our genes. When DNMT is thrown off balance, it alters methylation patterns across the entire board. Let's see what happens next in Section 5, Instability and Polyploidy, Cellular Chaos. This dysregulated methylation, the aberrant hypermethylation and hypomethylation we just looked at, is not just some minor biological glitch. As we can see, it acts as a massive trigger for systemic chromosomal instability, or CIN. Essentially, the entire genome just loses its regulatory anchors. Let's look at the final outcome of all this chronic chromosomal instability. Unlike the acute pathway, this slow, unstable burn leads to abnormal, chaotic multiplications. Take a look at the resulting polyploidy, specifically tetraploidy. This is where the cell ends up with 92 chromosomes instead of the standard 46. It is an utter structural overload. And finally, Section 6, the final genetic toll, overarching impact. So the crucial point I want you to take away from this is that a struggling liver disables the cell's natural defenses in two vastly different ways. Acute stress drops our DNA repair enzymes, leaving us totally defenseless against oxidative breakage, while chronic stress alters methylation patterns, leading to insidious chromosomal instability. Both pathways systematically strip away our genomic armor. Let's rapidly recap this incredible and honestly devastating genetic toll. On one side, we witnessed chromatid breaks and gaps leading to the severe loss of chromosomes like we saw in monosomy 21. On the chronic side, we traced telomere shortening and sister chromatid exchanges, which ultimately cascade into the massive chromosomal overload of tetraploidy. This really brings us back to a foundational truth. The illusion that our organs act in isolation is shattered when a stressed liver fundamentally alters our genetic blueprints. The biology makes it absolutely undeniable, guys. Systemic bodily health and our most fundamental cellular integrity are intimately, permanently bound together. Much leaves us with one final, deeply important question. If alcohol exposure and chronic liver inflammation can wreak this much havoc on the very architecture of our chromosomes, what other lifestyle factors might be secretly reshaping our fundamental karyotypes right now? It's definitely something to think about. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.